Good morning, welcome back to another weekly vlog. We've got an announcement from Boris, I think this evening, about what's happening next with regards to lockdowns and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see what happens. I don't know what to expect, to be honest. I think, well, I've seen like speculation that they're going to reopen the schools on the 8th of March. But apart from that, I really don't know. So we'll listen to him later and see what he's got planned for us. I feel a bit anxious about the whole thing. I think because, I don't know, I've seen a lot of comments that people seem to be under the assumption that like all the vulnerable people have had their vaccines now, so we're all right. You know, people are saying, well, you know, now the vulnerable have had their vaccines, we can just get back to normal again. And I know that that's not the case because a lot of vulnerable people haven't been vaccinated yet. You know, lots of disabled people, lots of people with asthma, lots of people with ME, carers, all sorts of different people. And yeah, it just makes me anxious that that's possibly like the kind of feeling of a lot of people. And so all these people that are vulnerable and haven't been vaccinated are just going to have to continue staying in, possibly missing medical appointments because of being scared about getting the virus. And yeah, it just makes me a bit nervous. But we'll see what happens. This week is, I think it's a fairly quiet week. I don't think I've got a huge amount of plans. I got up relatively early this morning. The next Disney Castle collection was out, and I collected the little like hanging ornaments, so I ordered that. I did then go back to bed because I was just so tired. So yeah, my kind of early morning wasn't actually an early morning. I just got up to do that and then went back to bed again. This afternoon I have got a phone appointment. It says it's with Rheumatology, but the person that it's with, I don't recognise their name, so it's not my rheumatologist. I don't really know what it is about, whether it's someone that's taken over from my rheumatologist, or I don't know, because it doesn't even say like doctor and then their name, it just says their name, so I'm really not sure. I don't quite know what to expect. I've kind of made myself a little list as if it is a rheumatology appointment, of things that I want to talk about, but I really don't know what it is, so we'll see. But apart from that, I don't have any other plans for today. Tomorrow we've got Noah, but he'll be at preschool most of the day. Apart from that, I've got nothing happening. Wednesday, again, we've got Noah, but he'll be at preschool all day, and I've got nothing happening. Thursday, same again, Noah, but I've got nothing happening. Friday, I don't have any plans. This is going well. Saturday, I am possibly doing a virtual games night with some of my mental health group. I suggested it because it was one of their birthdays and I thought it would be a nice thing to do. And also I just thought it would be quite a nice thing just to have a bit of a social and have some people company virtually, because I think everyone's just struggling a bit right now and just could do with a bit of like social stuff. So I think we're going to play Pictionary, because you can share your screen on Zoom. So I think that's the plan. We're just kind of trying to organise the final details of that. So hopefully I've got that to look forward to on Saturday, and then Sunday I don't have anything on as well. So yeah, I have a fairly, well, I say it's a fairly quiet week. There's no like real plans in my diary. Who knows, because things change and things happen, but I don't have any real plans this week. So I just want to get on with editing, try and do some more tidying and admin-y bits that need doing, and that is pretty much it, I'm afraid. I don't think it's going to be a massively exciting week, but there we go. So anyway, I'm going to get on with doing some editing, and then I need to go and get my lunch, hopefully before I have this phone call with whoever this person is that I'm having a phone appointment with.
Tonight at 10, England gets a roadmap out of lockdown, and it stretches over 4 months.
Which means that we're now travelling on a one-way road to freedom. Whenever we ease the lockdown, whether it's today or in 6 or 9 months, we've got to be realistic and accept that there will be more infections, more hospitalisations, and therefore, sadly, more deaths, just as there are every year with flu. And thanks to the vaccinations, that there is light ahead.
Good evening. It's quite a lot later since I last spoke to you. Got a bit of editing done this morning, and I had the phone call that I was talking about. So it wasn't actually with a doctor, it was with a rheumatology nurse, which I didn't know existed. She was very nice. I kind of told her about various new symptoms or worsening symptoms that seem to have just been getting worse over the last year. And yeah, she was really nice about it, but basically she said that there's nothing that she can do. She said usually somebody with my conditions would get seen by the doctor because of their like complexity, and just they kind of have more knowledge, I suppose, on the conditions. But she said the doctors are still on the wards because of COVID, so the nurses are following patients up. But yeah, she kind of just said that because, I don't know if it's because she's a nurse or because she doesn't have the knowledge of like my conditions, there's nothing that she can do. She said that next time she speaks to my doctor, she'll like pass on what I've said, and she'll make me an appointment, like a follow-up appointment with him, but she says she doesn't know when that's going to be. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I feel frustrated. It's not frustrated at them. I know like they're trying their best. I think I just feel frustrated at the situation, and you know, the fact that like I'm really not feeling that great, and I've got these new symptoms that have been going on for a year now, just seem to be gradually kind of getting worse. My health has declined a lot in the last year, and it's just frustrating that I can't get any real help or support with it, or even like any answers as to why or what's going on, whether is it my EDS and everything that's just going downhill, or is something else going on that I could be getting treatment for and I could be feeling a bit better. Yeah, I don't know, just feeling a bit kind of, I don't know, despondent about the whole thing today. Well, not just today, but yeah, she was really lovely and you know, apologetic, and she listened to me, which was helpful just to get everything off my chest. But I don't know, I think I just hoped that I might be able to get a bit of advice, or like, I don't know whether they thought if I needed any tests to try and find out what's going on. I think I just hoped for some answers, but I don't know when that might happen. So yeah, there we go. And yeah, I've just been resting this afternoon, had a nap and just, yeah, slept for quite a while. We had the announcement from Boris this evening, although pretty much knew what he was going to say anyway, because it had already been said in Parliament earlier. And it's kind of like this, I won't go into it because everyone will know what it is, but it's just like this gradual, what do you call it, like release of restrictions and stuff over the next few months. I mean, I am quite glad they're doing it gradually, although I don't know how it's going to work with like all schools going back at exactly the same time, but they do seem to be putting like gaps in between each thing to give like the next thing a chance to see how it goes, which is good. I don't know, I'm just still worried about so many vulnerable people not having vaccinations while this is all lifting, and I just feel like the risk is still, well, it's going to, for me it feels like the risk is getting more, you know, as things start to open up, and as people still don't have like the protection of a vaccine, it just makes me a bit anxious. But you know, I shall carry on shielding and staying at home until I can get the vaccine, I suppose. But yeah, I don't know. I know I'm not the only person that's anxious about the whole thing, and there's so many disabled people on social media who feel the same and who are worried and who just, I think, are just at the end of their tether, a bit like me. So at least I know I'm not on my own. But yeah, that's how things are at the moment. Anyway, I am going to go and get a cup of tea or something, I think. Possibly watch something with my dad, I'm not sure. We'll decide in a minute. And just have a quiet evening. And yeah, that's my Monday. Good morning. I don't seem to be getting on very well today. I just don't really know where the day's going, and every time I look at the clock I'm like, how is it that time? I don't seem to have done anything. I've just been replying to some comments on my YouTube channel, which has actually taken me quite a while, but I'm really trying to get through comments, and yeah, obviously I appreciate people's comments and want to make sure that I acknowledge them and reply to them in the detail that they need. So yeah, I've just been trying to do that, which has taken me quite a while, so I'm not sure if I'm going to get any editing done today, just because of that taking quite so long. And I also had to sort out writing a letter and stuff this morning as well, so that's sorted as well. It's just been one of those days of, like, I don't know, little odd jobs, and I find those days you never seem to feel like you've done an awful lot, because you've just done lots of little bits that don't really kind of feel like they add up to much, but actually if you look at all the little bits, you have actually done stuff. So I just keep trying to tell myself that I have achieved something, even if it's not what I had expected. We've got Noah today. He is at preschool, so I haven't really seen him, but he'll be home in a little while. And yeah, apart from that, I don't have any plans. It's just another quiet day in lockdown. But I need to go and get some lunch, so that I've had that before Noah gets home. I am going to have the other of the Plant Kitchen No Chicken Kievs from Marks and Spencer's, because they come in packs of 2 and I can only eat one at a time. I had the other fish cake, or no fish cake, yesterday, and I think I will get those ones again. I don't know, I can't decide whether about the chicken Kiev ones or not. I'm still a little bit like not sure on the texture of them, but I'll see how I feel after I've had this one and decide. But I definitely like the no fish cakes. They were really good, so hopefully get those again. And yeah, that's about the most exciting thing I can tell you about my day, about what I'm eating for lunch. But yeah, I can't really think of anything else to tell you at the moment, so I'm going to go and sort my lunch out, and then hopefully Noah will be home and I can have a little plat. I was going to say a little play and a chat, but it came out as plat. A little play and a chat with him before he gets picked up. So Noah's back from school. Well, he's been back for a while now. Are you waving, are you? You can't see yourself. I'll turn it around in a minute, and then you can see, oh, he's waving. Yeah, he's been back for a while, but we've just been having a little bit of a chill out, haven't we?
Oh, you was in the garden, wasn't you?
Oh, you went in the garden. What did you do in the garden?
What did you help Grandpa with? Something you started this morning.
What did you put on the fence? Too busy eating his peas.
It's
What did you put on the fence, Noah?
A birdie home.
A birdie home. A new home for the birds.
He helped Grandpa make it this morning before he went to preschool.
You're so clever. So now, when you come to Nanny and Grandpa's house, we'll have to look out the window every time and see if any birdies are going in your house. What birds do you think might go in your house?
A birdie house.
Yeah, which birds do you think might go in it?
Ooh, I don't know.
Do you think it might be pigeons? Or I think pigeons are too big, aren't they?
Too big.
I think that it might be maybe blue tits that go in your birdie house. because they're quite little.
Birds.
Birds, yeah, birds of some description.
They're very tiny.
Yeah, they are very little birds. Because on the birdie house, the hole, it wasn't very big, was it?
Maybe we have to make it big.
Well, you don't want to make it too big, because if it's too big, then the little birdies won't use it, because they like it to be nice and snug and cosy.
And it needs a roof.
It does need a roof to keep them nice and dry and warm.
Yeah, and it needs a door to let them go in and out.
That's right, it does need a door.
Yeah.
And then hopefully the little birdies will go in there and they'll lay their eggs in there and have some baby birds. That would be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So we'll have to keep looking out as it goes into spring and see if we can see any baby birds being, well, we won't see them being born, but we might see baby birds coming out to eat, because we've got lots of food out there, haven't we? So hopefully they'll come out and eat our food. If you keep helping Nanny to fill it up.
And a cup of water.
And some water, yeah, that's some water.
They'll be thirsty.
That's right, we need to make sure they've got a drink. And we've got a bird bath so that they can have a little wash, because they need to have a bath as well. So we've got, oh, right, sorry about that, my phone went, and it was the doctors. Basically I emailed them because I hadn't heard anything about my COVID jab. If you've been watching my vlogs, you would have seen a few weeks ago I got a text asking me to book my COVID jab, but I couldn't do it. Yeah?
Whoa. Mummy or Daddy picked me up today.
I think maybe Mummy.
Or Daddy.
No, I think Daddy's still at work.
Maybe Daddy will.
I think it will be Mummy.
Will.
Yeah, so I got a text asking me to book my vaccine, but I couldn't get the link to work. And then it just said I should wait for more appointments, but nothing happened and I didn't hear anything. And I put off like messaging them for ages because I know how busy they are, and I know that generally they're telling people not to message about COVID vaccines. But it's been a few weeks and I kind of thought, because I've already been invited, I'm just going to check to make sure that I haven't been marked down as like not being able to, like not wanting to have it or something like that, and therefore missing out. So I literally just sent them an email, and within a couple of minutes my phone rang, and it was someone from the doctors, and she said, oh, have you managed to book your first COVID jab yet? And I said, no, I've literally just emailed about it to say that I'm having issues. And she said, yeah, I've just read your email. And then she said, would you be able to come down on Friday to have it done? So I was like, yeah, I can do that. And then while I was speaking to her on my phone, the other home phone rang, and it was someone else from the doctors, I think, who'd also picked my email up, and who was also ringing to try and give me a date for the COVID jab. So it's like buses, isn't it? You wait and then, you've got birthday cake! Let me just wipe this gravy off. You don't want gravy on your birthday cake, do you?
No, I don't. I don't.
There we go.
What do you want?
You don't need gravy on your birthday cake.
No.
So yeah, she's booked me in for this Friday to have my first COVID jab. My mum is also having hers, possibly as my carer. We're not sure whether it's because it's my carer or because of something else. Unfortunately, we couldn't get 2 appointments next to each other, but where we're having it done is literally 5 minutes down the road, so it's not an issue. So yeah, I feel massively relieved to have an appointment, but I also feel quite guilty because I know that so many people are still struggling to get prioritised. So I feel a bit conflicted, but then I know that me not taking mine because other people haven't been prioritised isn't going to help anybody. So yeah, I will go and get it done on Friday, and hopefully feel a little bit safer. Not that I'll change how I do anything, but I just feel...
Get out from there.
You want Alfie to come out from there?
Yeah.
Right. Well,
Hopefully I'll just feel a bit better for having it done. Anyway, I'm going to finish helping Noah because he's having his dinner. And then I'll talk to you later. Good morning. Apologies in the last clip. It was all a bit busy and I don't quite know how much you would have heard. But basically I emailed my surgery yesterday because I had a message a few weeks ago from the surgery asking me to book in for my COVID jab. And when I tried to access the link, it just kept saying that there was nothing there. And I tried several times over several days and it just wasn't working. And then the link just stopped working altogether and said, just wait, basically. And yeah, I hadn't heard any more about it and I was getting myself more and more anxious and just in a bit of a state about the whole thing. And I think because of all the changes to group 6 and everything, I was just convinced that I wasn't going to get called again. So in the end I emailed them yesterday and I just thought, you know what, I'm going to email them. The worst they can say is, well, the worst they can do is not reply at all. The worst they can say is, no, you're not on the list. So I emailed them and literally within like 2 minutes of pressing send, my mobile rang. And it was someone from the doctor's surgery saying, she said, oh, have you been able to book your COVID jab yet? So I said, no. I said, I did just send an email about it. She said, yeah, I've just seen the email. She said, and then she just said, oh, can you come down on Friday? And I was like, yep. So she gave me various times. My mum's actually got her COVID jab on Friday as well. So we did ask if we could get them both at the same time, but unfortunately they can't do that. So mine's earlier in the day and then my mum's is later in the day. But while I was on the phone on my mobile talking to her, I could hear my phone like making a beeping noise, and I thought it was the kind of noise it makes when you're getting another incoming call when you're already on a call. But obviously I couldn't do anything about it. And then that beeping stopped and then the house phone started ringing. So I was like, wow, okay, someone's really trying to get hold of me. So my mum answered the house phone and they asked for me, and my mum asked who it was, and they said, oh, it's the doctors. And my mum was like, but she's already on the phone to the doctors. And they were like, oh, so they were like, oh, okay. Do you know what they're talking about? And my mum said, oh, they're talking about booking her in for a COVID jab. And the person on the other phone was like, oh, I was just ringing to book her in for a COVID jab as well. So I'm guessing 2 people must have seen my email and both thought that they would contact me at the same time. So yeah, they obviously really wanted to get me booked in, which was nice. But yeah, I'm all booked in and I've only literally just got to go down the road to our doctor's surgery, which is 5 minutes if that. So that's good. I think my dad is going to take me because my sister has to go for another scan. Apparently she's measuring a bit small, so they just want to check that her baby is growing okay and is like the right size and everything. So she's got to go for a scan, which my mum's going to take her to, and then my dad's going to take me for my COVID jab. So yeah, it feels a bit of a relief. And like literally when she booked me in for the time, I nearly cried. I think because I got myself so anxious that I might not be in the priority group anymore, and just feeling anxious about everything opening up and feeling vulnerable and not being able to get the jab. Obviously I would have got it eventually, but not being able to get vaccinated earlier on as a vulnerable person. I think I just got so anxious about all that when she finally kind of said, oh, you know, we're booking you in, I just wanted to cry. I was just so relieved. But then I also feel guilty as well, because I know there's still so many people who are fighting to be recognised for like the priority list. You know, I follow Asthma UK on Facebook, and there's just so many comments of people with asthma who are just terrified because they can't get prioritised for their jab. I know people with ME who can't, various disabled friends who aren't getting prioritised, and so I feel guilty. I feel guilty being relieved, because I feel like it's all right for me now, I'm getting it, but it's not all right for them. And I know that me getting it doesn't stop them getting it, and I think it was Nina, I follow someone called Nina Tame, and I'm sure it was her that posted it. I can't remember, it might have been somebody else, but posted it basically saying that you shouldn't feel guilty for getting something that you're entitled to, because it's, yeah, you shouldn't feel guilty for getting something you're entitled to, because it should be that everybody else in that situation is also entitled to it as well, not that only a few people who are privileged because of a postcode lottery have been able to get it. And it kind of made sense to me, because, you know, I shouldn't feel guilty because I've been able to get it, when it's not my fault that other people aren't getting it. It's the fault of the way, like, the priority list has been done, and, you know, that it's not being explained to people very well. And, you know, it's a lot of the time it is a postcode lottery depending on your GP. So I don't know, I still feel guilty about it, but obviously I'm going to go and get it, because, you know, any person getting vaccinated is a step in the right direction, and, you know, I can still campaign for people to be prioritised, even though I've managed to get mine. So yeah, I don't know, complex thoughts and feelings in my head. But there we go. I have got a call with my friend Lydia shortly, so I'm going to get set up for that. We had Noah here this morning, so I played with him for a bit. He's now at school, or preschool, and then he'll be back later. So I'm going to have this video call, try and do a bit of editing, have some lunch, and then play with Noah when he gets home.
Some people have written books, some have a great look that covers the magazines for kids who are 17. But I don't know what to do, staring into the blue sky and just waiting for a sign. Some, they are certain of what awaits them when
Uncle David, what's the wrong button?
Thank goodness Uncle David pressed the wrong button. So yeah, we're just sitting here doing Noah's dinner, and like all of our phones started ringing, and it said it was a FaceTime call to like our family. We've got like a family text group. It said it was a FaceTime call from my brother David. So we're like, oh, okay, fancies a chat. So we logged into it, and there was us, my dad and my sister. And then you could see David's little icon, but you couldn't see like any faces. And we were sort of saying hello, and he was going, what's this? What's this? Oh, hello. You got tickly fingers. And then we sort of said, oh, did you call us? And he said, no, didn't call us. So we think he must have sat on the button or something. But anyway, we've had a nice chat with Maisie, haven't we? Have you got friends at school? Have you?
No.
You haven't now?
No.
Why not?
We haven't.
Oh, you haven't got any friends at school?
No. We've all gone home.
Oh, they've all gone home. So you have got some friends, they're just not at school at the moment.
Yeah.
You're so clever.
but I don't know what will happen to me. Will I be remembered in a century? Or will I be forgotten like dust in the wind? Or the talk of the town that we are living in? Well, I don't know, I don't know. How could I know what lies ahead of me? Am I part of a grander master plan?
Good evening. I have been having a nap. Noah's gone home quite a while ago now, and yeah, I just crashed out on the sofa because I'm tired. But I've just been opening a belated Christmas present that my friend Susie sent me. I think she had been having a bit of a rubbish time recently, and she kept telling me that she was really sorry that she hadn't sent anything, and I said to her, you know, don't worry. but then the parcel arrived a few days ago, so I've just been opening it now. One of the things had the Kevin the Carrot wrapping paper on, which I absolutely love. Can't beat a bit of Kevin the Carrot. And yeah, it smells amazing as I was opening it. So there are these really lovely soft looking like slipper sock things, which are, what does it say on it? It says Mucklux, if that means anything to anybody. Yeah, just as the original Mucklux, and it says that they are treated with jojoba oil, so they smell quite nice actually, and they look like they're going to be quite cozy for my feet. She said that she got a little letter, and she said that she hopes, what did she say? I hope these gifts encourage you to relax and do a bit of self-care. Excuse me. So yes, I've got some really nice comfy looking socks, which I absolutely love, anything that keeps my feet warm. And then also a scented candle. I don't know where it's from. It says home, but it doesn't say which home. Oh, Sainsbury's. And it is a bergamot and Earl Grey scented candle. Bright top notes of lemon, bergamot, freesia and lily are softened by the warm woody base of amber and cedar wood to bring you a refined scent that is both fresh and aromatic. So it comes in a nice little box like this, and it smells really nice. I mean, I love a candle, and this one's really nice actually. Very, very simple. Just says bergamot and Earl Grey on it. It just smells really nice, so I'm looking forward to lighting that, putting my nice cozy socks on my feet and just trying to relax a little bit. So I don't know whether Susie watches my videos, but oh, excuse me, goodness me. Yeah, I don't know whether Susie watches my videos, but thank you very much, Susie. These have very much made me smile, and it's very sweet of you to send something when things have been a bit rubbish, so I do appreciate it. And also she said in her letter that she liked the Christmas present that I sent her, so I'm very glad about that too. Good morning. Not really much to update you on this morning. Yeah, just another day in lockdown. It's another day with Noah. He's at preschool, so we'll see him a little bit later. I'm going to light a new candle because I finished my last one yesterday. This is another Christmassy one. I'm just kind of getting through all of the candles that I've got, to be honest. I need to bring some more down because they're upstairs, but I've gone for this one, if it's going to focus, which is Candy Cane Lane, which I'm assuming is going to smell minty possibly. I'll give it a sniff in a minute. So I'm going to light that. It's a bit like, I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know whether it's minty or sweet. Might be sweet. Anyway, you don't need to sit here and watch me smell a candle. So yeah, I'm going to get that lit. And I'm going to try and finish editing a weekly vlog today, see how I get on. But yeah, apart from that, I have absolutely no plans today, apart from entertaining Noah when he gets home from preschool. So it's fairly quiet, to be honest. So yeah, I'm going to get on with doing this editing, and I will try and update you on something later depending on what happens. Actually, I keep meaning to show you. At the moment our lounge looks a bit like a florist from Valentine's Day and my mum's birthday. I keep meaning to show you the flowers because there's some really nice ones in there, so I will try and do that later. It just depends because by the time Noah goes home it's usually dark and you can't see the flowers as well in the dark. But anyway, I'll try and do that later possibly, or otherwise I'll do it tomorrow. But yeah, I'm going to get on with some editing now. Right, please excuse the weird angle. I've just got to put some medication in the rest of my things. Because I didn't have enough when I did them on Sunday, and my mum has just picked them up, so I can now fill them up. And I've got a little man here helping me, haven't I?
No.
You helping me, are you? Right, you sit down, and when I open them, please don't touch them because we don't want all of the pills to go on the floor, do we? Because that would be not good. So we've got to open them up.
Yeah.
Ooh. Like this.
Hope it doesn't. Mummy, after it's barking.
And he was, wasn't he? He's not doing it at the moment. We have to be very, very careful because there's lots of pills in these already. And what we don't want Jenny to do is drop them all over the floor, do we?
No, that would be.
Jenny would not be happy with that, would I?
No, you would.
So now we need to open this. It says take 2 4 times a day.
In here, in here, in here, in here.
Well, we're going to put them in lots. Oh, careful, careful.
Yeah.
We're going to put lots of them in. So I've got to open it up like this.
Yeah.
And put lots in my hands like that.
Yeah.
And then now I put. Oh, Jenny dropped one already. We're doing well. Gonna put.
Don't do it, darling.
Gonna put them in here. And then 2 in there. I don't know why I've opened that one because I don't need it. And then we've got to put 2 in there. 2 in there.
We need a bit more in here.
And then another 2 in there. And 2 in there. And then we can shut them again.
You didn't do these ones, did you?
Not yet, no, I'm just going to do them now. See? So those ones can go in there. And then
What have you got?
Jenny will have lots of pills to take.
An apple. Can you see?
It's an apple.
No, it's a biscuit.
Well, there you go. Why did you ask?
It's an apple flavoured biscuit.
Right.
Can I have a bit of it?
Maybe after your dinner. There we go. I'm all done.
No, I like put something on your iPad, Nanny.
No. So we've sorted out my medication now, so that's ready for the rest of the week. And spent a little bit of time with Noah. What did we watch on the iPad?
Paw Patrol.
Pardon?
That's Paw Patrol.
You didn't watch Paw Patrol.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. What did we watch?
Here we go with it.
No, do you want any more fish finger?
With it.
You turned into a frog.
It runs with the spring.
Yeah. Is that what it does?
It runs with the problem. It goes rabbit. And now I say after it. With it.
I see. Do you want another fish finger?
You want this?
No.
You don't need it or me or Daniel.
Do you want it?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Can Nanny eat it then?
No.
Who's
Never
go-
ate it?
No.
Who's going to eat it then?
No. I don't know.
Anyway, we watched a bit of PJ Masks. Where did we find PJ Masks? What do we have to look for on the iPad? Disney. Yeah. Do you like Disney? Yeah? We watch lots of nice things on Disney, don't we? Like Toy Story. And Bug's Life. And Bolt. And Moana. What else do you like watching?
Oh, we've got PJ
PJ Masks, yeah, that's on Disney. Yeah, lots of nice things that we can watch on Disney. And he's now having his dinner.
This one is mouldy. A bottom is mouldy. A bit over.
They're all the beans. You know, sometimes like baked beans are a bit black. You can get the odd like black one. He just picked it up and went, oh, this one is mouldy. It's not mouldy, sweetheart.
Oh, a bucket is mouldy.
Is it really mouldy, is it?
Well, this that is a bit mouldy.
Oh dear. Oh, Jenny needs to take a medicine. I don't think it was mouldy, sweetheart. I just think sometimes the beet, occasionally you get a beet that goes a bit of a funny black colour.
Yeah.
That's just what they do. It's not mouldy. We wouldn't give you mouldy food. Don't go home and tell mummy and daddy we give you mouldy food.
But if you not eat something, then really you will get mouldy.
Well, yeah, if you don't eat it for a long, long time
Yeah.
and just leave it, it'll go mouldy. And then you'd have to throw it in the bin, wouldn't you? And it would be a waste.
Oh, yeah, no, baby.
Yeah, so that's why you mustn't buy too much food at once. And then you just eat what you need to, and then it won't go mouldy.
If we have running out of food, we have to get some more food.
Well, that's right. Where do you get your food from?
Sure.
That's right. Good evening. It's a little while later now. Noah went home a while ago. I have been having a bit of a sleep on the sofa. I've tried really hard to wake up today. The last few days I've fallen asleep on the sofa and I've just really struggled to wake up, and then it gets later and later, and then I haven't had anything to eat, and then bedtime gets later and stuff. So I'm doing my best to try and wake up and actually do something so that I don't fall asleep again. So yeah, I am going to order my cards for March. So I try to order like a month's worth of cards in advance for like birthdays and things like that. Ideally I should have probably done it a bit earlier because we're like 25th of February now, and I've got a couple of birthdays at the beginning of March, so I'm not sure they're going to make it on time, but yeah, that's just how it is today. So yeah, I usually order my cards from a couple of places these days. So I use a website called Greetings Cards. I'll do a video over the top so you can see it, and I'll also link them below. So I get a fair few from there, and they donate like a percentage of your like total cost to a charity, and you can choose which charity it goes to. And then I also get a few cards off Amazon if I can't find anything that I like on the Greetings Card website. I'll have a look on Amazon as well. So yeah, I'm just going to have a look on there. I've got my list on my phone for the month of what I need to get. I'm watching the first episode of 22 Kids and Counting, which I think came out earlier this week, which is recorded on Channel 5. So I'm watching that, and yeah, drinking my Fortisip. It's all very exciting here. Sorry I haven't got around to showing you the flowers today. You've got a little sneak preview behind me there. But yeah, by the time Noah had gone home, it was dark, and it just didn't seem like the best time to show them. So hopefully I can do that tomorrow. I've also got my COVID jab tomorrow. Feeling like a mix of emotions at the moment. I'm nervous about just going out to get it. Excuse me. I mean, I've been out a few times for medical appointments, so you know, I kind of know what to expect. I'm a little bit nervous that I won't be able to get it. I don't know which one I'll be able to have. So obviously you've got the Pfizer and you've got the Oxford AstraZeneca one, and there's been a lot of like advice and things like that about which one you should get if you've got like allergy issues. I don't quite know. I don't know what they'll say basically, because I've got mast cell activation syndrome disorder, whatever you want to call it. I kind of have random allergic reactions to just everything and anything. I don't have an EpiPen, so I don't know whether that will make a difference. I know quite a few people with mast cell activation disorder who were told that they should be having the Oxford one because of just advice, I guess, from their doctors and stuff. So I don't know. I mean, I'm fairly open-minded and will be guided by what they say. I'm just a bit nervous that I might get down there and they perhaps only have the Pfizer one, but they think that I should have the Oxford one, and then they can't do it. But obviously I want to have the right one for me. But yeah, I don't know, I'm a bit nervous about that. I'm a bit nervous about having it, just because I know like quite a few people that I know have been quite ill afterwards, and also just, I think, just nervous about it. Like, I don't know, I feel like until I've actually had it done, I won't believe that I'm actually getting it done. I don't know why. Like, I don't know, that probably sounds a bit weird, but I think just because it's been a bit bumpy and uncertain, I think until it's done, I can't kind of relax. Good morning. Today is vaccination day for number 1. And yeah, I thought I would wear a rainbow jumper. I put one of my favourite perfumes on. It's kind of sad, isn't it, when you get excited about going out to have a vaccination. But yeah, I think I'm a mixture of excited and nervous. I think that the main thing I'm nervous about is just actually it getting done, and there being the right one there that they decide is the right one for me. And I don't know, it's just, I think like once I've had it done, I'll feel a bit better about that kind of thing. It's just, I think that's just getting me a bit anxious, but at the same time I'm kind of excited to get the first jab and hopefully be a little bit further on the way to kind of going back to some kind of normality. So yeah, I'm just putting a video up, and I'm going to start editing another video, and then I'm going to have my lunch and then go out. My dad's going to take me down. It's a really nice day actually today, like really sunny, blue skies, which is quite good because it means that we won't get soaking wet or anything when we're going from the car into the doctor's surgery, so that's good. I think I'm going to take my wheelchair in. Usually if I was going to that doctor's surgery I would walk with my crutches, but one, they are like they're not using the doctor's surgery car park, they're using the car park that's like next door in the supermarket, so it's going to be further to walk, which I think I would struggle with. And also I just think it would be easier if I've got my wheelchair, and then I know that I can sit down, and if I feel a bit funny I've got a seat, and if we've got to queue or whatever then I can sit down rather than standing up. So yeah, we need to go a little bit earlier just to give us time to get my chair out and everything. But yeah, I don't know, I just feel like I can't really settle at the moment. So hopefully I'll feel a bit better once I've had it done. I am a little bit nervous about side effects. I don't know which one I'm going to have, so I've kind of, certainly from the people that I know, they seem to have had more side effects with the Oxford one than with the Pfizer one. I mean, that's in general, like everyone's going to be different, so I don't know. But then my dad had the Oxford one and barely had any side effects, I don't think, really. I think maybe he had a bit of a sore arm and that was it. So, you know, I think it varies completely depending on you and your immune system and how your body handles it and whatnot. So we'll just see. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to get on with doing some more of this, have my lunch, and then hopefully go and get my COVID vaccine. Right, I've had my lunch and now I'm just getting ready to go and get my vaccine. I don't know why I feel so nervous. Like, I do so many hospital appointments and tests and stuff, and you know, this is an injection. It's not like anything huge, but I think it's just I think part of it's like the significance of it all and what it is, and just being anxious about actually getting it and, you know, it actually happening. And I don't know, I'm trying not to get myself worked up, but yeah, I'm a little bit anxious. So I'm going to get myself ready and head out, and I'll update you when I get home.
I'm gonna let the sun shine in today. I'm trying to make this darkness go away. I'll paint with colors and I'll sing until my lungs give out. Gonna let the sun shine in today, and I will leave my windows open so that I can.
I have been vaccinated. I had the Pfizer one. I wasn't sure whether I was going to be able to have it because of my mast cell activation syndrome and random allergic reactions. But when I went in, there was a doctor and a nurse. The nurse was doing like the admin stuff. And then the doctor was asking like various questions, and they asked about allergies, and I said about my mast cell activation syndrome, and he kind of looked a little bit puzzled, and I'm thinking he probably hasn't heard of it or doesn't know much about it because it's quite a rare condition, and it's also still very like not unheard of, but like it's not fully recognised by a lot of medical professionals, and there's still a lot of research and stuff going into it. So I kind of explained what it was and everything, and he asked whether I'd ever needed to have an EpiPen or whether I'd needed to be resuscitated after an allergic reaction, which I haven't, thankfully. So he said that he was happy to give me the Pfizer one. You wait for 15 minutes afterwards anyway, so they obviously kind of are keeping an eye on you for that 15 minutes to make sure that you don't have an allergic reaction immediately. And I'm guessing that's probably the kind of the time when you would most likely have an allergic reaction if it was going to happen. Touch wood. So yeah, he asked various questions. It's kind of like going for a flu jab, but I think they ask a few more questions than they do for the flu jab, from what I can remember. But no, they were really good. Like where the vaccination place that we go to that I've been to for mine, that my mum and dad are going to for theirs, is our local surgery. So it's just down the road. There's a supermarket next door, so you park in that, and then they have got marshals kind of like dotted along the route to the surgery who kind of tell you which way to go. And so I just went along in my wheelchair, and I actually went in the exit door because it was better access that way, and didn't have to wait at all, just went straight into the room with the doctor and the nurse, answered my questions and everything, and then got the jab. And yeah, I mean, as far as injections go, it was pretty painless. You know, I would say it was much like having a flu jab. You know, you can feel it, but it's kind of, you know, that's what it is. And then he kind of held, I don't know, his thumb or some cotton wool or something on it afterwards for a few minutes, just to check that it didn't bleed, but it was fine. And then they give you the little card, which has got your name, which kind of vaccine you've had, the batch number, and also the date of when you've had the vaccine. And then it's got a bit on the bottom for your second one, so you have to take this back when you go for your second one. And then they also gave me like a big thing full of information about the vaccine, which I guess has just got like, I don't know, ingredients. I don't know what else it's got on it. Side effects, how to report side effects, what you need to know, various other things that are on there. So I'll have a read through that at some point. And then, yeah, so then once you've done that, they tell you that they will book you back in 12 weeks. I know some people are getting their second date for their second jab like at the same time as the first, but I didn't, and my dad didn't, and my mum hasn't. So I think it possibly depends on how you've booked, because I booked like directly with my surgery, whereas I know that people who've booked through the NHS like website thing seem to be able to book both jabs. So I don't know whether that makes it any different, but they said that I would get contacted when it's time for me to have my second jab, and then they ask you to sit in the waiting room. They called it the departure lounge. They were like, go and sit in the departure lounge for 15 minutes. And like on the TV screen, it's got the time, so you can see what time it is, and they write on your like white bit of paper what time you have to stay till. and then you go in there and there's a volunteer in there as well that's just keeping an eye on everyone and making sure you're okay. So yeah, I just waited there for 15 minutes and then my dad brought me home. The only thing that I have noticed so far is that I feel quite dizzy, but I don't know if that's just me because I get dizziness anyway, so it could be a coincidence and absolutely nothing to do with the vaccine at all. Who knows? But anyway, I'll just see how I go. I'm hoping that if I've had the Pfizer one, that I won't get so many side effects. We'll see. I think it just depends on the person, to be quite honest, because you know, I know people who've had the Oxford one who've had really bad side effects, but then I know people who've had the Oxford one who haven't had bad side effects. So we'll just see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm going to have a bit of a rest now anyway. I've taken some paracetamol. I was due to take it anyway because I take it regularly anyway, but I have heard people say that they would recommend taking it kind of regularly for a day or so once you've had the vaccine. But as I take it anyway, that didn't really affect me. So I've had some paracetamol, and I'm just going to have a bit of a rest now because I want to wash my hair later. My mum has got her vaccine shortly. My dad's actually had to go and pick her up because she took my sister to the hospital for her scan and they're still stuck there. So my sister's had the scan, but they can't find a doctor to come and like give her the results. So they've been waiting, I think they've been waiting like an hour and a half or something, and they still haven't found a doctor. So my dad has got to go and pick my mum up because otherwise she's going to miss her appointment for her COVID jab, which does mean my sister's going to be there on her own, which I'm not massively happy about, but there's not a lot we can do. I would have offered to go and sit with her, but I don't really want to be in a hospital unnecessarily. It's a very loud aeroplane. I don't really want to be in a hospital unnecessarily, and also if I've just had my jab as well, I don't want to get there and then find I'm not feeling well. So I'm just hoping that perhaps that a doctor will come and see her before my dad gets there to get my mum, because I guess, well, it's not nice for her to be on her own if she's got to get news, and you know, she's gone there because they're saying that they think she's measuring too small, so I don't want her to have to get any kind of bad news if there is bad news on her own. But we'll see. I don't know, it's just can't do much about it, but it's not ideal. So anyway, my dad's gone to get my mum because she's got her COVID vaccine shortly, and then I'm hoping to wash my hair when she gets home, so I want to have a bit of a rest now, so that hopefully I don't feel too bad to have a hair wash. So yeah, I will keep you updated if I get any side effects or anything interesting. But yeah, jab number 1 done. 1 down, 1 to go. So I thought I'd just show you our mini florist before I have a rest. So yeah, this is the lounge. I'll show you them kind of individually, but there's just flowers everywhere. I have no idea what is from who, so I'm just going to show you the bunches of flowers. So we never normally put flowers down here, but we've literally run out of space to put them anywhere else. So I think, well, the majority of these are my mum's, and these are nice bright pink, I think they're carnations, possibly. I'm not very good at flowers, but yeah, they're very pretty. I think this is the bunch that I got sent to my mum from Bunches, and I just thought it was really lovely, happy colours. I know that she really likes like yellows and oranges, and I just thought it looked really nice. And also, like, I tend to always go for like pink flowers for her, so I thought it would just be quite nice to go for something a little bit different and go for some different colours. I've got these 2 bunches over here. I can't remember who gave my mum what, but I absolutely love the tulips, especially those pink ones that are kind of pink and white. And then you've got the other ones next to them, which I can't actually remember what kind of flowers they are, but they look very nice as well. I think these ones are possibly left over from the ones my dad gave my mum for Valentine's Day, possibly. I'm not sure. It may be I know my mum, we had 2 bunches on Valentine's Day, one for my mum and one for my sister, and I know my mum put them all together once like some of them had started going off. This might be that bunch, but they're nice and colourful and very pretty. Right, apologies if you can hear hoovering upstairs. These ones I think were from my brother David for my mum's birthday, and I just think these are really, really pretty. I absolutely love the pink I think Gypsophila? I think it's pink Gypsophila, and the sort of different coloured carnations as well. They're really pretty, and I think these were from bunches as well, possibly. But yeah, I think these are one of my favourites actually. And then I think these were from my sister Becca for my mum for her birthday, possibly. I think they're a Waitrose bunch, and again, lots of nice bright pinks and whites. There's quite a theme going on actually. I mean generally my mum likes most flowers anyway, but there are a lot of pink flowers this time, so I'm quite glad that I went for yellow just to give her something different. And then we've also got a couple of bunches of daffodils because my mum just absolutely loves getting them. As soon as Christmas is over and the daffodils start coming out, she will get them to brighten up the house, because I think they're just lovely when it's kind of, I mean, I was going to say when it's like not very nice outside, but actually today it's been beautiful outside, but actually they still brighten up the house. And I think after Christmas you need something that's nice and bright and cheerful and makes you feel like spring's on its way. And then we've also got 2 little dishes with 3 of these roses in each one. These were the roses that were on top of my mum's birthday cake, and instead of just wasting them and letting them die, she's put them in some water so that we can enjoy them for a little bit longer. So yeah, we have got a lot of flowers at the moment, but the lounge just feels, I love it. I love having flowers. They just make me smile. Even if I'm having a day where I'm just like lying on the sofa for most of it, it just makes me smile seeing them. Good morning. I'm feeling pretty rough today. I kind of expected it, to be honest. I've heard various things about vaccine side effects, and usually if I take a medication I'm going to get side effects. That's just what my body's like. So I was kind of prepared for it, but yeah, I do feel pretty rough. I actually slept quite well last night, which was interesting. Usually I wake up in the night like needing to go to the loo and stuff. I slept the whole way through and I got up really late today. I was just so tired. But yeah, the side effects that I'm getting at the moment are my joints are really painful. Like every single joint in my body hurts. Like I'm finding like even my fingers and my toes are really painful. Headache, feeling very tired, like shivery, like I kind of feel like I've got a temperature but I haven't. That just sort of like feeling of, you know, like when you feel like hot and cold and like kind of feverish. I'm getting quite a lot of pain in my tummy. I don't know whether that's the vaccine because I get a lot of tummy pain anyway, but it's been like, it kind of feels like the kind of pain that I get when I get kidney pain. So I'm just kind of hunching over and clutching my stomach. Just trying to think if there's anything else. It just feels like when you're getting the flu or something and you just hurt everywhere. Yeah, that's just how it is. Oh yeah, just feeling really sick and dizzy. Dizziness is like one of the main things, of just like feeling really faint and dizzy. Kind of like when I move my head, it feels like the room is kind of moving around me. I felt like that yesterday, like after the vaccine and into the evening, and I wasn't sure whether it was related because I have been getting dizziness anyway. That's the issue. I think that's the issue when you are already chronically ill and you have kind of like varying symptoms. Is a little bit like, is it the vaccine like side effects, or is it my chronic illness that's just being its normal random self? But I do think that these probably are vaccine side effects, just because it's very much of a coincidence to have all of these symptoms all at once flaring up. So yeah, just kind of plodding on with it really, and just I don't know, I just keep telling myself that this is preferable to catching COVID, and you know, I would rather feel like this for a few days than to be really unwell with COVID. So, you know, I don't regret having it. You know, this is what I expected to happen. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, I mean, I take regular painkillers and paracetamol anyway, so I'm just continuing with that, and I think they are helping a little bit, because I notice when they're starting to wear off that I start to feel a lot worse. But yeah, I just thought I'd update you on what side effects that I get, because I know a lot of people are interested, not because they don't want to have the vaccine, but just because they want to be prepared for what they might get. I've heard of people being a lot more ill than this, and I've also heard of people not having any symptoms. My mum had the Oxford jab yesterday, and touch wood, so far she seems pretty okay. She says she feels quite tired, but apart from that she's generally been okay. Oh yeah, also my arm it's just really painful. I'm finding it hard to like lift my arm above my head or like do things with it because of the pain. And yeah, it kind of feels like I'm coming out in sympathy with the other side, but I think it's like literally just like my body hurts to touch. I don't know, I think anyone that's had the flu, but also anyone that's got a chronic illness that kind of involves like pain and sensitivity will know that when you kind of get a flare up, it's like it just hurts for like anything to touch your body, which is why I'm trying to wear like really soft clothes today, because just, yeah, literally anything feels painful. But yeah, it's just, I'm just plodding on with it. I am actually trying to finish editing a video today. I probably should be resting, but I'm not very good at that. I mean, I'm okay at resting like more in the afternoon when I feel like I've done something, but I'm not very good at like resting all day when I feel like I haven't achieved anything, and I probably need to work on that. But I just really want to get this video edited so that it's done. So I'm just trying my best and see how far I get. I haven't got that much more to do, so I'm hoping I can get it done, and then I can just go and crash out. I'm meant to have a virtual Pictionary night this evening with some of the mental health group. We decided to organise it for one of their birthdays. Just not. I do want to go. I've messaged them and said, I said I'll be there. I said even if I'm like lying down on the sofa and I've just got my computer on and I'm just there watching, like I will be there. Because I was looking forward to it, so I'm hoping that I can still kind of join in with that in some way. But yeah, also I've not got the greatest appetite. I mean, I don't usually have the greatest appetite anyway, but I think because my nausea is quite bad, it's just a bit of a struggle to eat. But I know that I've got to eat, otherwise I'll just feel worse. But yeah, I'm just trying to drink water, be kind to myself, and gonna go and rest, well, either as soon as I've done this or when I get to a point where I just don't feel like I can do anymore. Good evening. I have been, well, I was gonna say sleeping on the sofa. I have been sleeping on the sofa, but I just can't get comfortable. Every position I lie in hurts, or I lie in a position and then I can't breathe properly, or I feel sick. So it's going great. But yeah, I've got this Pictionary, virtual Pictionary night this evening with some of the people from my mental health group. And as it was my idea, I kind of feel like I want to go along for a bit of it. I've texted them and said that I'm really not feeling that great, so I think I might just turn my computer on and lie down. And they said that's fine. If I want to just watch or try and guess some of the pictures, then that's fine. But it'll just be something different to do and to join in. And to be honest, when you've been chronically ill for I don't even know how many years, you get pretty good at adapting and being part of things when you're not feeling well. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm just going to get logged into Zoom, and hopefully it will just be a nice little distraction.
Oh my child, I know you're hurt and you can't let go. It's not your fault and you don't deserve all the bad and the hurt. I know you tried so hard. I know you've done your part. It's not fair.
Good morning. Actually, tell a lie. It's good afternoon now. Still feeling a bit rubbish. Possibly not quite as bad as yesterday, but still not brilliant. I had a nice evening yesterday evening with the virtual Pictionary thing that we did. We just did it on Zoom, and people were like sharing their screens. I just literally put my computer on, logged into Zoom, and then just kind of lay there and watched. And it was nice. It was just nice to have a distraction and to giggle. And I think I feel really lucky that I've found a group of friends who understand and who want me to be part of what they do even when I'm not feeling great, and even if I can't join in, they're quite happy for me to just be there and spectate and just feel part of it. And I think anybody that's got a chronic illness and has had for a number of years will know how important that is, because, like, I don't know, growing up, like, because I got ill, I mean, I've had my illness for my whole life, but my health went downhill when I was about 15, and obviously when you're at school, friendships are so important, and I lost quite a lot of friends over the years through being ill and not being able to keep up with what friends were doing. I kept friends as well, like I've still got some great friends from school and, you know, growing up that I've kept along the way, but I think it's just what happens. And I know I can speak to probably most of my chronically ill friends, and they have found the same, that you lose friends because you can't keep up with them. And I think with a lot of people, you know, they maybe ask you to begin with if you want to come to things, and if you continually say that you can't go because you're not feeling well enough to do it, just gets to a point where they stop asking. And so I really appreciate having friends who continue to ask, even if I've said for the last few times perhaps that I'm not able to do something, or if I've like said I can't do that, but do you fancy just meeting up for a cuppa, like obviously pre-lockdown times. I feel lucky that I found friends who are happy to adapt and, you know, accommodate my health and my disability. And yeah, I think when you've been ill for so long and you've lost so many friends because of your illness, it really makes you appreciate the ones that you've kept, because you know that they are keepers, basically. You know, they are incredible friends because, you know, they have, I don't know, I don't want to say that they're incredible because they've stuck with you, because that sounds like that, you know, you're not worth sticking with, and that's not what I mean at all. But, you know, things do have to be a little bit more flexible and a little bit more different, and it just makes me really appreciate the friends who have taken the time and effort to do that, and to, you know, adapt things to me. And, you know, like, I mean, this group of friends is a group that I made through the mental health group, which I never thought would happen. I you know, when I started the mental health group, however many years ago it was, I just didn't think anyone would come. And I thought even if people did come, it would just be like a bit of like a functional thing, you know, people would come and talk about the mental health and then go. I didn't expect to meet a group of friends that would be friends for life through it. And so yeah, I've completely lost my train of thought. But yeah, no, these friends are great. You know, I haven't known them for that long, a few years, if that. But if we're organising something, they will always like check to make sure, you know, that I'll be able to do it in my wheelchair. You know, like if we want to, we used to do walks and stuff before COVID happened, and when we would like talk about a walk, they would always say, oh, if I'd been there, like if I knew the place, they'd say, have you been there before? Do you know if your wheelchair can get around? Or they might like suggest a walk that they've been on because they think it would be good for my wheelchair and things like that. It's just like things like that feel quite little but actually are quite big, and really important. So yeah, that was just a really long-winded way of saying that it was just nice to spend some time with my friends yesterday, even if I couldn't really do anything. I did guess a few, so that was good, and they've said that we'll do it again when I'm feeling better, because myself and also another group member was also feeling ill from their COVID jab as well, so we both couldn't really do much. So we said we're going to do it again, so that was nice. And then once that had finished, that was me done for the evening. I was exhausted, but it was worth it. So yeah, I didn't sleep quite as well last night. I seemed to wake up in pain quite a bit. And yeah, just feel a bit crappy this morning, but it's kind of what I expected. And today I'm just doing what I probably should have done yesterday, which is taking things slowly and resting. Sorry there's not been much filming today. I've just had a really quiet day, resting and not doing much else. I did make it out into the garden for a couple of minutes though, and it was really nice seeing the daffodils. We've also got a winter flowering clematis, which has actually got flowers on it. We've had it for like, I don't know, it must be like 3 or 4 years at least, and this is the first winter that it's actually flowered. So yeah, it was really nice to see those flowers and the daffodils and feel the sun. It just felt a bit like spring, and it was quite nice to kind of feel that that's coming. So yeah, it's just been a nice chilled out quiet day, definitely what I needed. Still not feeling brilliant. I find when I stand up I start feeling really faint, but I'm just taking it slowly, and if it takes a few days for the side effects to kind of wear off, then that's what it'll be. So yeah, anyway, I've just been watching some YouTube and now I'm going to go to bed, so I just wanted to come on and finish the vlog. I hope you've enjoyed this week's vlog. If you have and you'd like to see more from me, please give me a like and subscribe to my channel. Also hit the notification bell, that means you'll get notified every time I upload a video so you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment, let me know how you're doing at the moment, whether you've had your COVID vaccine yet, and if you had any side effects or anything like that. I also do just want to say that I'm thinking of anybody that is vulnerable in the whatever sense of the word. I don't like the word vulnerable, but anybody that has an underlying condition or is disabled and is struggling to get prioritised for their vaccine, because I know how frustrating and scary and upsetting it is. So I just want to let you know that I'm thinking of you if you're in that position, and I will continue to campaign alongside charities like Asthma UK, the ME Association, Scope, etc., for people to be prioritised accordingly for their vaccines. So I just wanted to put that in because I don't know, I know it's a bit of a crap situation, isn't it? I wanted to acknowledge that. So yeah, do let me know whether you've had yours or not and how you're feeling about it all, and also let me know if there's any particular videos you'd like to see me do or particular topics you'd like me to cover. It will just help me to plan for ideas and things like that. Also come and follow me on social media. My links are in the description below, but I'll put my Instagram and Twitter up here. Those are the 2 platforms that I'm mainly on, so do come over and say hello. I really appreciate every comment and message that I get, and I'm replying to them as quickly as I can. I apologise if it takes a while, it's just dependent on health. So yeah, but I do really appreciate anyone that leaves a comment or a message, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye.